Welcome everybody back to the Botch Squad podcast. I am your host Gina Man 94, here to bring you another Raw review. This time it's the January 25th edition of Monday Night Raw. So we start off the show, they give a little recap of the Royal Rumble, and then Vince and Steph come out. Here we go, 20-minute authority promo as always. So yeah, they come out, talk about how they broke down Roman Reigns and made him miserable, and they're dogging the crowd out like, yeah, we don't care about you, and you guys are stupid anyway, and you're miserable just like Roman Reigns is, and I'm Vince McMahon, damn it, yeah. And yeah, so that's pretty much what they did. And then Steph announces Triple H as the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion, and Triple H comes out in a suit. Yeah, that was kind of strange, but whatever. So he comes out and, drops this passionate promo talking about Roman could be great, but he lacks respect, and he doesn't respect Vince, and Vince created all of this, and if he had to have a religion, this is his religion, and Vince McMahon is pretty much God to him, and all this other stuff. He was really heated in this promo, talking about Vince and the WWE, and said nobody's going to take the belt from him, and he's going to be champion as long as he wants to be champion. So Steph says tonight they're going to evaluate every superstar's performance, and at the end of the night they will announce the main event of Fastlane. Now, the main event of Fastlane's winner will go on to face Triple H at WrestleMania for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. So all the matches tonight are going to be evaluated by the Authority, and then they'll choose who they want to be in the main event. Okay, so first match, it was Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler. And Dolph is out to prove something here, because the bell rings and he super kicks the hell out of Owens and tries to get the quick pin, but Owens kicks out. So, he's already trying to impress the Authority already. So, more aggressive, and Owens, of course, gained the upper hand, but Dolph kept bringing the fight to him, but in the end, he fell to the pop-up powerbomb. Pretty good match, just to kick off Raw. It was pretty high energy and pretty good spots or whatever. But yeah, so Owens wins, and he looked pretty impressive in the win. So backstage, Roman Reigns is looking like he just arrived to Raw, but he still has his wrestling gear on. That was weird. And yeah, JoJo approaches him backstage and says, what do you think about what Vince said, and what do you have to say? He was like, well, I'm here. Let them know that I'm here, and I'm not going anywhere until the main event for Fastlane is announced. So that was pretty much it. They come back from commercial, and the Social Outcasts are in the ring, and Heath Slater starts harassing Flo Rida, who's sitting ringside, of course, which they announced his song "My House" is going to be the official theme song for WrestleMania. Pretty good song or whatever, and they're in Miami, so he goes out harassing him. Said last time you were near me, you pushed me and whatever. So I guess he's still holding on to the grudge of that. So he's like, why don't you just get in this ring so we can battle? So Flo Rida hops the barricade and gets in the ring. And Heath Slater's like, whoa. I'm not talking about fighting. How about we rap battle? This was pretty funny because they turned Bo Dallas into Bo Rider. Yeah, it was, they put a little like Kango type hat on him, and they gave him a gold chain. He starts rapping, and he sounded so educated in this rap, and it was just so funny. He actually had some bars, but the way he delivered them was just too funny. I think he made like a Full House reference too. But then Flo Rida's turn, and all he did was like horribly freestyle and bring out the Dudleys for the match that they were going to have, Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel versus the Dudleys. It was pretty much just putting over the fact that Flo Rida was going to have the song at WrestleMania or whatever. Not really much to this match. You already know the Dudleys won. AJ Styles was backstage with JoJo and was talking about him turning the WWE upside down last night at the Royal Rumble and the amazing reaction he got. And, AJ was talking about how the crowd loves him, and he was surprised by the reaction that he got. And then Chris Jericho comes up to interrupt him and was like, you belong here, and it's about time you made it here. And, I've seen your work, and I'm really excited to get to work with you because they're gonna have a match coming up next. So it's Chris Jericho's versus AJ Styles. He was like, "Welcome to the big league, kid," and tapped him on the chest really hard. AJ looked at him like, "Oh, okay, sure." So I was really excited about this match because this is one of many dream matches that I had. AJ versus Chris Jericho. So I was pretty ecstatic that this match was happening. And it was a pretty great freaking match. I mean, Jericho still got it. I mean, he's gotten a little bigger, but damn, that man can still work. And yeah, it was a pretty great match. Back and forth offense. They were going back and forth with each other, trying to pull off each other's moves. And Jericho got AJ in the walls of Jericho, and he fought his way to the ropes. And yeah, it was pretty good. He tried to hit Styles Clash. He couldn't really connect with that. They're not letting him connect with that yet. So I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, it was a pretty great match. In the end, I think Jericho was about to hit the code breaker, and he got countered, and AJ kind of they went back and forth on a little roll up, and AJ got him 1, 2, 3. So AJ wins his first match on Raw, which is good. I was hoping they didn't have him lose to Chris Jericho, even though I love Jericho. Wouldn't have been good. So they've been teasing on Twitter about some top star returning. I'm like, well, they're in Miami. It's got to be The Rock, right? Well, yeah, we'll see. We see what happened later on. So Sasha Banks is having a match with Becky Lynch because, last night after their match, Charlotte and Becky Lynch's match, Sasha Banks attacked Becky Lynch. So they came out, and Becky started off the match really pissed off because she got attacked at the end of the match. And, they went back and forth as well. Didn't really go that long. Becky tried to get her. Well, actually, she did get her in the disarmer, but Sasha countered her, and eventually got her in the bank statement. But before Becky could even tap, Charlotte came out and attacked both of them. And she got the upper hand on Sasha Banks and hit natural selection. So they're really building this feud towards a match at WrestleMania, which I think is pretty good, pretty cool. These two are great in NXT, and I'm excited to see what they could do with this rivalry and leading up to WrestleMania and the match at WrestleMania. So yeah, that was pretty cool. I'm enjoying that very much. So then let's see what happened next. Backstage, Goldust is talking to R-Truth, and he's trying to tell him he needs a tag team partner, but the way it's coming off to R-Truth thinks he's trying to date him or something, or take him out to dinner or something like that. R-Truth was like, "Hey man, I'm a married man. I don't swing that way." And Goldust is like, "Okay, that's cool, but I'm trying to get a tag team partner." He was like, "Hey man, whatever floats your boat, but I don't swing on that side of the fence." You know what I'm saying? And then R-Truth was like, "Man, good luck. Don't let nobody tell you not to be you." And he walks away, and Goldust realizes that he thinks that he was trying to hit on R-Truth. He was like, "No man, I just need a tag team partner, man. Me and you, nah, you left already." Pretty funny segment. R-Truth has been hilarious as of late, so really like what they did there. Next match was Kane versus Bray Wyatt. Kane returned last night at the Royal Rumble, actually, after being gone for a long time. I think he's been gone since Seth got hurt. Maybe a little bit after that. I don't know. The match was okay, but you already knew what was going to happen because the numbers game plays into effect here as the Wyatts get involved in the match. And there was a guy in a Randy Savage costume who was drawing more attention from the crowd than this match did, and Bray did not seem to like it, as he kind of told the guy to shut up or whatever. He motioned to him to be quiet, and eventually the I guess WWE moved them to the other side because he was sitting front row, and on the TV side you could see him. So I guess they moved him over to the non-TV side. But, whatever. Yeah, Kane took the Sister Abigail and lost because, of course, the Wyatts kept interfering, and he took the Sister Abigail. So they talk about the returning stars coming up next, and they've been advertising this limo that's here. So they open up the limo to see who it is, and The Miz comes out talking about he's the most must-see superstar of all time, and, whole Miz gimmick, whatever. And then a truck speeds in right next to the limo, and out jumps The Rock. So, yeah, The Rock is back. Of course, it's Miami, and it's about to be WrestleMania, so of course The Rock's back. And, he hops out the car, and he's just on a roll. He sees The Miz, and The Miz is like talking smack, like, I'm tired of you interrupting me. Like, you tried to interrupt me at WrestleMania, and The Rock was like, hey, what's up, Miz? Like, pretty much no-sold everything he said. He's like, hey, man, you all right. And walked away from The Miz like, what the hell? Like, why? And then, The Rock comes up to Rick Ross and all his whole crew or whatever, and, dapping him up, talking about his album or whatever. It's like, yeah, man, we got to be on set together. Come by the set and see me sometime. The Rock is energetic, just talking to everybody. And then he comes up to the Big Show, and he's talking about the Royal Rumble match where they both went over the top rope, but Big Show's feet hit the ground, I guess. But apparently it was The Rock's who feet hit the ground first. And he said his director for the Scorpion King said that whoever won the Royal Rumble match would be cast for the Scorpion King. And he was like, man, I was watching it. You should have won. That could have been you. You could have been the Scorpion King. Man, your life would have been a whole lot different if you would have got that movie. Man, that's all right. Keep your head up. And hey, you all right, man. And, it was dapping him up. And the Big Show looked like he's about to cry because he just realized that his dreams had been crushed right in front of him. He had this face, man. It looked like he was about to die. Oh my God, it was funny. Then he runs into Lana, and last time he had came back, he did a little segment with Rusev and Lana. He was like, yeah, remember you took me no, you came to my hotel room, and we did all of this stuff and all these poses and stuff. Yeah, remember that? We got really drunk and we started doing some things, and then Rusev came up behind The Rock, and Rock was like, oh, hey, Rusev, what's up? Are you guys still together? Or I heard you guys broke up, so I don't really know what's going on with you two. And Lana was agreeing with everything The Rock said until Rusev came up. So it was kind of awkward. She started shaking her head like, nope, we did none of that. I don't know what you're talking about. And Rusev is just staring her down like, really? You really did this with The Rock, really? And Rock was like, hey, Rusev, you all right, man. You got yourself a good woman there. She's really flexible, too. And then he walked away from them, and Rusev started yelling at her. And then he was walking towards the gorilla position or whatever, and was just talking about his famous gorilla position, and, he's happy to be home, his whole gimmick. And then he counted down, and then his music hit, and then he, comes out to the ring. He was just energetic from the time he got out that truck, from the time he got to that ring. And so he comes out, and then he addressed the four guys. The one guy that was in the Macho Man costume from the Kane and Bray Wyatt match. He was also there with like a guy dressed up as Hulk Hogan and Undertaker, and even a guy dressed up like The Rock. He was like, yeah, we need to go off script for a little bit. So he addressed all of them guys, and because the crowd really loved them. And then, like I said, they moved them off the TV side. So The Rock played into that a lot, and, did his normal little gimmicks to them, and it was pretty funny. So, The Rock is talking. He forgot who Byron Saxton was on commentary. He was like, wait, who are you? I think I know you, but I don't really. And that was hilarious. And then New Day comes out. Oh, my goodness. When New Day came out, this segment turned up the funniness. It turned 1,000 times funnier than it already was. So, they come out with their gyrations and the twerking or whatever. And Xavier's like, hey, that's Byron Saxton. He is the best commentator over there on that announce team. And then, pretty much buried Michael Cole and JBL. He was like, you need to know who that black guy is. But from the black guy you don't know to the black guys you do know, the New Day. And then, they were doing their whole little reference gimmick. He was like, you call yourself the people's champ, but you ain't got no gold. Like, where that though? New Day is hilarious. They always make everything funny. It was hilarious. And then, they were going back and forth with The Rock. And then Big E gets on the mic and said, Rock, it looks like you didn't eat your bowl of bootios. They make sure that you ain't booty. And I can't with these guys. These guys are out of control. He was like, you're like LeBron, and you got famous, and then you moved out of South Beach. You got away from this terrible city, and they mocked Rikishi and said he didn't do it for the people. He did it for the paycheck. And it was just hilarious back and forth. And Rock was like, well, you guys are talking a big game. Why don't you get in the ring? And I'll stick that trombone off all three of your candy asses. And they were like, nah, they don't deserve for the New Day to get in the ring. And they started huddling up. They were like, champions huddle. And The Rock called them three uni bitches. You know, The Rock is always going to have something funny to say. And you know, the New Day with their witty comebacks. It was funny. And they were like, nah, we're gone. And then the Usos came out to throw them back into the ring, and you know, they took the Rock's finisher and super kicked and rock bottomed and people elbowed. You know, the normal Rock gimmick stuff. So yeah, that segment went for a while though. It felt like 20-25 minutes, but it was hilarious. It was worth it. Looked like the Usos got a rub again, even though they lost the titles last night. But I digress. So yeah, that segment was pretty funny. The next match was Brie Bella and Alicia Fox versus Natalya and Paige. Natalya, you know, started dominating for a little bit, but started to get a dose of Brie mode. Yeah, don't really care for that. You know, she started doing her little Daniel Bryan kicks, trying to get her husband over, but I just don't like Brie Bella at all. I don't like her. So pretty much this match only went about 7 minutes. Paige got the little hot tag and hit the rampage on Brie for the win, and yeah, that was all for that segment. So the Miz comes out and talks about how he's so pissed that he keeps getting interrupted, and he hates when people interrupts him, and then Kalisto interrupts him, and he comes out and they're gonna have a match together. It's Kalisto versus the Miz, and this one didn't go that long either, but you know, the Miz was trying to beat the hell out of Kalisto for interrupting him, and you know, Kalisto getting his little high flying offense in, and you know, eventually the Miz went for the skull crushing finale, and it got countered into the Salida del Sol, so Kalisto wins, and I'm thankful that he's done with Del Rio because I'm tired of seeing those two wrestle. So I guess they're going to keep the belt on him for a while until they put him in another feud. Hopefully not with the Miz, though. I don't want to see that. That would not be great. And the main event was Sheamus and Rusev from the League of Nations versus Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. Now, this match, it felt like it dragged on forever. Like, I started to fall asleep, to be honest with you. I didn't really care about this match because these guys are always fighting. Always. They're always fighting. I didn't really care. But eventually, the numbers game started to bother Ambrose and Reigns, but they prevailed and got the win. Sheamus kicked the hell out of Roman Reigns, though. Like, whew, it looked nasty, and Ambrose saved the pin, and then Sheamus went for it again and got speared, and, you know, they won. But after the match, though, because Rusev last night put Roman Reigns through one of the announce tables, so they started destroying the announce tables, and they kind of triple powerbombed Rusev through one of them because there was two announce tables out there. They tried to triple powerbomb him, but it was just a double powerbomb, like a Shield-esque powerbomb, and they destroyed Rusev. GG Rusev, it's over. And yeah, Rusev got put through the announce table. Right after this, Stephanie comes out to announce the main event for Fastlane, as they said they would at the end of the night. And she comes out and is like, well, that's pretty impressive, and the Authority is all about doing what's best for business. So the main event at Fastlane will be Dean Ambrose versus Roman Reigns versus one other person in a triple threat match. And that last person is Brock Lesnar. So, yeah, that's going to be pretty interesting because Roman's projected to win this so he can face Triple H at WrestleMania. But who in their right mind is going to knock Brock Lesnar down enough times to get the pin? when it's already a triple threat match. Not just let me cash your money in the bank at the end of the match when everybody's tired. No, you're going to have to go 1-versus-1 with Brock Lesnar in the ring. The Beast. That's going to be crazy. It's going to be hectic and chaotic. Brock Lesnar is going to take them both to Suplex City. And it's going to be here in Cleveland. And I wish I could go. I'm hoping that I still can, but that's going to be good, I hope. Hopefully they can put on a great match with that. But yeah, that was all for Monday Night Raw. It was a pretty good Raw. Not really a couple low spots, but it was a lot of high spots for this Raw. I'm not really too mad at it. I enjoyed it until that main event, but other than that, it was a pretty enjoyable Raw. Finally, usually we don't get enjoyable Raws. We get a few little things here and there, but other than that, Raw is never really enjoyable. So I was glad we got an enjoyable Raw. So if you guys like the video, please go ahead and give it a like. Go ahead and subscribe if you're new. Leave a comment down below on how you felt about tonight's Raw. And I'll be back with some more videos for you guys. I've been trying to get out as many videos as I can. So I'll see you guys next time. All right. Peace.